Story 1. To know the exact day, month, year, and time of my death would make it a lot easier to plan how to spend my retirement if I knew exactly how long I had to live. Story 2. I wish for someone who could help me navigate getting my Social Security and Medicare benefits organized. Story 3. To play better football, I dislike being on the bench during every game. When I do play, I often get criticized by my teammates. I understand their frustration, but it doesn't feel nice. Story 4. To own a decent home is important. A house with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms would be great. If it had a garage with an automatic door opener, that would be even better. Story 5. Donald Trump to die the kind of death that would make him wish for the bronze bowl or molten gold poured down his throat instead. Story 6. Every government should work towards the best interests of their people and eliminate corruption and greed at all levels. Story 7. To be able to walk again. I am tired of being bedridden at a relatively young age. I would even keep my many illnesses, but at least I could walk to see specialists. Story 8. There was a time when I would have had different answers, but right now, if someone asked, I would want the immediate collapse of the Make America Great Again movement and all parties associated with it, starting with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Story 9. I wish for a magic credit card that allows me to buy anything without needing money or raising suspicion, and the funds I use do not take from the poor or harm anyone. Story 10. To live long enough to see my great-grandchildren. My grandchildren are 11, 12, and 13, and I hope this country lasts at least that long. Story 11. Better understanding of my cats so I can care for them more effectively. They have saved me, and I owe them everything. Story 12. For the girl I am currently seeing to overcome her trauma, so we can progress in our relationship and become exclusive. Story 13. I don't know how this would be realistic, but for me and the people I love, care for, or know are good people, I hope we can live happy, healthy, and fulfilling lives and leave this world calmly when we are ready. Story 14. For my dyslexic son to learn to read and write, he wants it so badly. He has worked very hard and still can't figure it out. I would give almost anything to grant him the ability to read and write. Story 15. My ideal job offers full benefits while allowing me to work from home for no more than 25 hours a week, with a 6-figure salary and a relaxed supervisor. Story 16. For my husband to not have a physical death sentence hanging over our heads. I would give anything to live out the rest of our lives together, although I suppose technically we are. Story 17. I would say turn me into a vampire as they are depicted in the Twilight movies. They enjoy all the advantages of being a vampire, such as strength, immortality, and special abilities, but they also sparkle in the sunlight, unlike vampires in other movies or TV shows that catch on fire in the sun, like True Blood. Story 18. What is realistic? I will have a blue Ferrari 365 GTB. They exist in reality, so I think that is realistic. Story 19. For my wife and me to see our grandchildren and great-grandchildren in perfect health and mental clarity, while I have no desire for more money. Story 20. To be killed in a spectacular and painless manner so that people think my life was interesting, but I do not have to be alive anymore. Story 21. I lost $100,000 due to my poor decision-making. I need that amount to repay my debts. I will continue to work and pay my bills and mortgage. I will keep trying to save money. However, I need $100,000 to regain my mental peace after losing that money. Story 22. Health and wealth. Although it took more than 5 seconds to think of. The first thing that came to mind in that time was money. Story 23. What would be a realistic wish? Part of making wishes is that they are things you wouldn't normally be able to obtain, also known as unrealistic. Story 24. A strong ability to focus, retain knowledge, and enhance my intelligence without any negative impact on my health or happiness. I hope this will benefit my attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Story 25. A steady income of $1 million a week for the rest of my life would be preferred over a one-time large sum. Story 26. All of my debts are paid in full, and anything I charge on my favorite credit card is paid in full at the end of the month. Story 27. Eternal happiness would not matter if I were rich or poor, in good health or bad, single or otherwise. I would be happy, even if I were locked up in a mental institution. Story 28. To never have another financial worry. I do not mean excessive wealth. I mean knowing that my bills will be paid without having to plan every single cent. Not having to worry if I have enough to cover a bill or groceries, and not having to work multiple jobs. I wish for that for myself and my children. Story 29. I have two wishes ready at all times, as you never know. First, I wish for my left hand to work as well as my right hand. Second, I wish to have top 100 dance skills. These are just quality of life improvements. Story 30. I let my brain fully immerse itself in this one. With no forewarning, I immediately said, cats. I'm not sure how that would turn out as a wish. Story 31. I was adopted rather than aging out of foster care. If we can't go back to the past, there will be no bills for the next 3 years while I get on my feet. Story 32. I'd look that stranger right in the eye and say, I wish you would taste buds in your backside, and then walk away. Story 33. It's greedy, but I want to return to a healthy body and state of mind so I can return to my job. I genuinely miss my job. Story 34. The most practical and realistic thing I can think of is a nice home, paid off on about 5 acres near where I am now. Perhaps a new 4-wheel drive car for each of us in the carport. That's pretty much our dream. Story 35. Everlasting happiness. I know it sounds cliché, but isn't that the primary goal that all the secondary things you wish for are meant to lead you to? Story 36. Realistic. Elon Musk would perish in a tragic accident, leaving everything he owns to me. Unrealistic. All fascists were granted immortality and then transported directly into the center of the sun. Story 37. It is disappointing to see so many people wishing for something to happen against Trump. It reflects a lack of personal fulfillment and originality. Finding a hobby or purpose in life would be more constructive than letting this individual occupy your thoughts. Story 38. Cash is an adequate amount, sufficient for comfortable living and the possibility of some travel. Story 39. Realistic? Anon, now strangers are the catcher. I've been on a dry spell. I'm not gay, but I'm also not picky. Story 40. You would read about it in the morning news. Breaking news. Early reports from the White House indicate that the 47th president was found. Story 41. I wish I had more time to come up with my wish. This fits the criteria. Don't blame the player. Blame the game. Peace. Story 42. I wish I had $500,000 in my bank account. That's what I came up with quickly. Is it the best wish? No, but I only had 5 seconds and didn't want to waste my wishing time thinking of a better one. Story 43. The unfortunate reality is that, in that situation, regardless of how justifiable your answer may be, we would probably all just say money when pressed. We all need it and dislike that we do. Story 44. $1 billion. I am not a material person, but that amount of money would change my life and the lives of many around me. I am disappointed that I am not selfless enough to think of something else, but money does make many things easier and solves a lot of issues. Story 45. $1 billion, a long life with perfect health, or the powers of a Wolverine. Or perhaps the ability to time travel slightly and resolve various personal and global issues. Story 46. Everyone should stop fighting all the time. There could be so much accomplished in my lifetime if everyone worked together and helped each other instead of spreading unnecessary hate in the world. Story 47. Edit a note that already has a wish template, and you only need to change this to the specific wish. It will be followed by a complex contract eliminating any loopholes. Changing the word creates a new wish instantly. From this second forward, fascism no longer exists. Story 48. I want there to always be the exact amount of money I need to buy things I want in my wallet. Want to buy a house? Here it is in cash. Want to buy groceries? I can pay for everything I need. The cost of healthcare? I want it. I have it. Story 49. I wish for him to come back into my life. I really love him a lot, and I promise not to make any mistakes. Story 50. Money with no hesitation and no questions asked. I instantly thought about 100 million euros without breaking a sweat. Story 51. I wish that they would be my friend again. I can picture saying, I wish they would talk to me again. I remember once I prayed for a specific person to talk to me. And funny enough, my wish came true. They unblocked me and told me to go away. A miracle. Story 52. Define realistic? I wish I had 400 billion US dollars in my bank account. Is technically realistic. Story 53. My second wish would be to win the lottery. However, my first wish right now would be to fully heal my leg. I had an extreme injury and a long recovery, and it has changed my life. I would never take my mobility and capacity for granted again if I could return to the life I once had. Story 54. I wish for a girlfriend. Wait, it has to be realistic. Then I want a longer relationship. Nope, still unrealistic. This is too hard. Story 55. To help my daughter reliably go to bed when she's supposed to. I say this as I hold her, trying to get her to sleep after she skipped her nap today. Story 56. I wish for my parents' understanding, but that's not realistic. Instead, I wish for $1 million. Story 57. Selfish, but honestly, I want to be debt-free. My first answer to any question about winning money is that I want to achieve this goal. Story 58. A wage-earning job as a creative writer or literature teacher is needed. My friends are doing it. I need to find work that pays the rent. Story 59. I don't know why, but my first thought was mashed potatoes. They are not my favorite food, but it feels as realistic as it could be. You all are out here wishing for happiness, health, and financial stability, but I would be fine asking for a bowl of mashed potatoes. Story 60. I wish for a wage above the living wage so I can afford to do things and live, not being homeless. Story 61. To live comfortably in my own head. I can't go 10 minutes without a chemical craving. I wonder how much wasted potential I have been living with. Story 62. I wouldn't take them seriously and would ask for a cookie or a dollar. I'm not sure I would accept either from a stranger, even if they were capable of magic. Story 63. Realistic could be defined as being within reason, logic, and the laws of our reality. That's what I will go by. I wish for all family and friends to have their debts paid, including my own. This is a simple request to reduce a considerable burden of stress. Story 64. Make me content with who I am and happy for the things I have instead of feeling jealous of those who are more fit or better off than I am. Story 65. I and every member of my family, now and in the future, live our lives fully rested, without illness, and without the aches, pains, or medical complications that come with age. Story 66. A long life and good health for my wife and me, along with $100 million in the bank account. I believe I can express that in 5 seconds. Story 67. U.S. tariffs on Canada have been lowered back to previous levels. We had to respond with a taste of their own medicine. Story 68. My mobility is suffering right now. Before, it would be success, now it would be good health. However, if I could include success as well, I would. This applies to both me and my family. Story 69. I had to move for an office job due to a bad breakup. While trying to find a job, I keep getting caught in the experience catch-22. Even if the job is not ideal, it will pay the rent and help me secure something better. Story 70. It's interesting to read the posts about tens of millions of dollars. Right now, $260,000 would give me 5 years of my current income to get through university. Story 71. To be completely honest, right now, my greatest wish is for Mango Mussolini and Adolf Hitler to fail. Story 72. I was in a bad mood when I read this post, and my first response was to give up. Then I wondered why I didn't hope for things to improve. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.